All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hi, everyone. This is Rainey Robinson with Savage Words Podcast. For those of you that don't know me, I was lucky enough to be on 3 seasons of Dog and Beth on the Hunt. I was on Dog and Beth Fight for Their Lives on A&E, and I co-starred on Dogs Most Wanted with one of my most favorite people on the planet, and that was Beth Chapman. I have a very special guest today. I am so excited. I was so excited, first of all, to learn about her. And then, when I asked her if she would do a podcast, she, agreed. And I was super happy about that. I have with me the CEO of Smooch Apparel, and her name is Noelle McQueen. How are you?
Ready? Good. How are you?
Very good. I'm so glad that you did this. I really am. We met through a mutual friend, and he said, "Oh, you've got to meet her. You've got to meet her. You're gonna, you'll really like her. She's so smart. She's so smart." And it was cute.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
for that. Yes.
So tell everybody, tell everyone a little bit of background about you.
So I am Noelle, and I'm living in Miami, Florida right now. I moved here from a small town, and I created Smooch Apparel. And I have created a small business. I've gotten into investing. I've gotten into multiple different things. I'm a very, very big believer in confidence with women. I'm a big believer on following your passion, whether it's school or whether it's starting something of your own, like a business, like myself. And I'm just here to empower other people, specifically young people. And that's a little bit about me.
I love that. And we spoke a little bit before we did this podcast. And I was really uh just so happy to know there's a couple of things. One is that, like you can tell you have that entrepreneurial spirit, which I love.
Yeah.
And we had talked a little bit about, earlier on about, you really wanted to be your own boss. And
Yeah.
that is something that is, you either are want that or you don't want that. And a lot of people want it, but they don't really know what it entails. How long have you been in Miami now?
Um, I moved in Miami August of 2020.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think
So,
about 6 months now. Yeah.
yeah, so you've been there long enough to know. And I know that you're a ways from home
Yeah.
where you were from. And that's not an easy town.
No, definitely not. Where I'm from, it's a very small town. It's a little town inside Wyoming. It's a very small town. Very little amount of people. I wouldn't really say that there's too much to do where I'm from. Not nothing that I was particularly interested in. So yeah, the jump from a small town to one of the largest cities in the United States is definitely a jump.
Oh
And
yeah. And
yeah,
you're in like a beautiful, not only aesthetically pleasing, but I mean, they crank out gorgeous women like, like dollar bills over there. So, and I love that. I love that what you're doing is I love the fact that we spoke about a couple of things, and some of the things that you talked about was like, confidence in women, and it's not
yeah,
very common for, someone that is, younger like you're 20,
yeah,
and it's not very common to have a woman of your age empower women that are older, in a much older category. And I love the fact that you do that.
right.
That is very important to you. And the other thing that I was really struck by was the fact that some of your clothing is you have a wide range of sizes.
Yes, yeah. I my whole purpose of starting this brand is to empower women and to empower everybody, make them feel comfortable in their own skin, to put out different styles of all shapes, sizes, all sorts of different colors, and that's exactly what I'm going for. I want to make everybody feel like they are included, and as hard as that can be sometimes, because people are picky and there's so many different people in this world with so many different interests and looks and
Yeah.
styles, um, but that is the goal, of course.
And I love that. And I love that, like I was a big girl. I was a big girl for a long time. I weighed
Mhm.
100 pounds more than I weigh right now.
Right.
And it was very hard to find. I liked sexy clothes, and I've always liked that. And it was
Right.
very hard to find stuff in my size. It was very hard and very frustrating. And when
Yeah.
I was much younger, it was even worse. At least today you can get some stuff, but I love the fact that you're focusing on that, and and the modesty levels too that you have, you know,
Right.
from
Right.
modest to, not so modest. And
Yep.
every girl likes that kind of a variety.
Well, for me, it's something that I grew up struggling with is confidence, just because I felt like I had so many other people in my ear trying to bring me down and point out certain things about me, like, oh, she's so disgusting, like all these horrible comments. Just for simply trying to be me, whether that's because I like wearing more revealing stuff,
Mhm.
then okay, that's me. Um, but I think that hearing that, especially from a younger age, being in high school, middle school, all of that, I kind of felt like I couldn't be myself. And honestly, I wasn't myself in high school. And I tell my boyfriend that all the time, that I applaud him, because when he was in high school, he was genuinely himself and he
Yeah.
stayed true to himself no matter what anybody thought. I wasn't one of those people. And so I stepped out of high school, graduated, and then now I feel like I've really found myself and I've stopped caring. And now I'm trying to teach everybody else the same.
I love that. And you have to have a support system, though, that encourages that type of thinking. And when we have, a backdrop of people that don't know how to think that way, how could they ever possibly
Of
teach you to
course.
think that way?
Yeah.
And I really believe that middle school and high school is like, I'm surprised that we all don't suffer from PTSD,
Yeah.
from the
Rough,
you know,
rough time.
yeah, middle school, like the worst. It's like the worst. And some of the meanest things I like, some of
Oh,
the
yeah.
mean and
It's
mean.
crappy. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And then some adults like never actually really grow out of it. They just like keep those middle school
Yeah.
years of plugging away. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, well, and so I know that you started this, and then you ran into like a little bit of an issue. You found kind of a predatory manufacturer that ended up creating like another set of hurdles for you.
Yeah.
And we talked about this. Rarely in business will you ever hang out a shingle and have nothing go wrong. It's
Exactly. Right.
in fact,
There's
it's almost
normally something.
the opposite. Yeah, exactly. And I love the fact that you really didn't take no for an answer, and you didn't really, that was, it's not even a stumbling block, it was a hurdle,
Yeah. It was
and
definitely difficult. I mean, I'm having to technically start all over.
yeah.
And that's pretty hard to start from square one, especially when you worked so hard. But this is what I want to do with my life. I'm going to make it happen, whether somebody wants to be scummy or not. I'm going to make sure that that happens no matter what.
Yeah, and I think that they're out there. I think they're out there, and they're going to continue to be out there, and they'll be out there until the end of time. And
Yeah. Always.
and
Always.
none of it really matters, and it doesn't have anything to do with your line, what you've created, and what your overall message is, to people. Do you have any men's products in your line at all?
Yeah, so I had a lot of men asking me, like, where's the men's products, all of that. And I was absolutely planning on adding a men's line, because I don't think that just women should be confident. I mean, men the same exact way. Everybody has sometimes a lack of confidence, and sometimes, even men get backlash for certain things about them, and just as much as women do. And I feel like that's kind of left out sometimes.
I
I'm a big
agree.
advocate. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big advocate for women, but I'm also a very large advocate for men. And yeah, so I wanted to make sure that I had a men's line up, and things are temporarily on hold. But yeah, I will eventually be adding a
No,
men's
I
line.
love that. You bring up a really valid point, because this is not an exclusively female thing. Like I drove around in cars with bounty hunters for years, and
Right.
some of the stuff they say to each other,
Yeah.
some of the stuff they say to each other,
Yeah. So you understand. Yeah.
I totally understand. Like I'm like surprised they're not all alcoholics. you
Yeah.
know, popping Xanax. Like some of the just mean, just mean stuff, and they just don't hold back. But you bring up a really valid point too, is that it's not just exclusively female thing, and I love the fact that you embrace every wherever anyone is, whatever age, whatever size, whatever gender, any of that. It's a loving human being to other loving
we're
human
all
beings.
we're all human. We all need to be treated as such, and I feel like the world has kind of lost that. Everything is so divided, especially nowadays. And I mean, it makes me sad, but that's why I'm trying to spread as much positivity as I can about it, raise everybody up, try to bring everybody together because it's just a big war, it feels like nowadays.
Yeah, and I like purposefully like tune out of, like, I don't even watch the news. I just like I'll stay on the cartoon channel 24 hours a
Yeah.
day. I'm not doing no news. I just don't want to do it. It's just like, who wants to have a steady stream of negativity, flowing into their living room? No, I'm not doing that. And so yeah, and I'm hoping that things kind of calm down. And I know that what we went through last year, with COVID and all of that, it takes a lot to frighten the public to that degree, and then expect everyone to just kind of assimilate it. And we're just not that sophisticated of a group to be able to do that, because everyone has different needs and that stuff. But what gave you the idea to come up with that name, Smooch?
So to be honest, I tried to find a name. I had multiple different names in mind that I was going to name it, and everything nowadays is taken. Everything. Like it was so hard for me to find a name. It was crazy, but I just thought Smooch in a way sounded sexy, and just kind of sounded a little bit scandalous. And, I just think that it was, I don't know, it just sounded right to me. And, I came up with that name and I was constantly asking my boyfriend, like, is that cheesy? Is that stupid? And honestly, we couldn't come up with anything better because that was just constantly ringing in my head.
I
So I was like,
I love it. It rolls right off the tongue, and it's
yeah,
something that's very easy to remember, which is fabulous. And that's
short and sweet.
exactly what you need.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely. I didn't want it to be long. I didn't want it to be anything outrageous, but I wanted it to kind of, in a way, give you a vibe of what our apparel's about, in a way.
listen, it's about self-love, and it's about reflection and all of that stuff. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. What would you like to leave everyone with?
So the biggest thing that I can say is moving here has biggest life changing that I've ever experienced, because not only did I just move away from home 2,000 miles, but I did it by myself at the age of 19. And I am slowly pursuing my dreams. And I've taken courses on mentality. I've read books on it. I've done everything that I can to better myself. And ultimately, that's what I try to teach everybody else, is that you come first before anybody else. You take care of yourself, love yourself, be healthy. Just stay mindful that no matter what comes your way, that there's always going to be something in store for you. And that's something that I've truly learned. And I mean, this city has challenged me like to the max. I'm paying so much money for a little box. I live in a studio. So financially, it's hard. I mean, the people here are hard on you. You have a lot of competition with, especially business. And it's a lot. It's a lot on your shoulders, not to mention I don't have any family around me. But ultimately, I am here for me and my future and my family future. I want to be able to take care of them, and that's all that's on my mind. And I feel like that's just what people need to start focusing on in the world, is less of other people and more on yourself, and to stay confident, happy, and healthy.
Girl,
That's
I'm
it.
telling you what, that's exactly it. It's like, stop taking everyone else's inventory. Take your own damn inventory. Take it. Take it.
Yes, the moment I started to do that, my life has changed, and I'm still learning how to do that. I still have hiccups here and there, but I feel like nobody gets to see that side of me, that I'm working hard out here to not only build myself up, but for my family and the people I love. And that's all I'm focused on.
I love this so much, because you set standards for yourself, and you're meeting those standards. And I just adore you. Like you and I are going to stay connected. We're going to stay absolutely connected. I am so
Love that. I love that. You're
excited to
wonderful.
see your future and where you're going to take this. You are a very old soul, and I
Thank
feel that, and you are going to smash it. You are.
you. Thank you. I hope so. And I actually know I will. It's just going to take time and lots of hard work. Mentality's everything.
I love that. I love that. Never take no for an answer. Don't take no for an answer. If you get one, you got to go through 50 no's to get to one yes. You're at
Yes.
49. It's coming right around the corner. I love that. Well, anything else you want anyone to know? Leave them with anything?
So I would say, lastly, the last thing is Smooch Apparel right now is temporarily on hold,
Mhm.
but I will eventually be bringing it back probably, I would say, summer of this year.
Okay.
It's just going to take time and some work for me to keep working on it, making it perfect, making sure issues don't happen like last time with the manufacturer. And I have an Instagram page. It's Smooch Apparel. That's all it is. My regular Instagram is Noelle_McQueen, and I keep everybody updated with everything of what I'm doing in life on there.
I love that. And we have a lot of followers too. And so there, if anyone knows of, anything that can help Noelle in her process, let me know. Either reach out to her or reach out to me. I would be more than grateful. And I know that she would be super grateful as well. And, it may be something, very simple, and it may be something very complicated. But if anyone has anything that they can help or add to this, definitely reach out and let me know. I want to thank everyone for watching Savage Words podcast. I will talk to you all later.